Today we have Dr. Ted Lin here to speak with us. He was born in Taiwan, where traditional Chinese cultures are still preserved well as compared to China. He came to the U.S. for a graduate degree in mechanical engineering and obtained a PhD from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He currently works for UTC Aerospace Systems, and he is one of the founding members of the Connecticut Chinese Culture Association. Welcome.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. To begin the presentation, I want to appreciate for this chance to share the traditional Chinese culture, which is quite long history and with the very rich cultural heritage, and you can see the commonality. So we talk about the moral values, which is universal and common values. You will see in my presentation, and anytime. I've been doing this for a number of times, so if you have any questions not clear or you have questions, just raise your hand. You don't need to wait. Yeah. Shen Yun, I don't know you heard about this name. Okay, if want me to translate, those are Chinese. In English, literally is the beauty of a divine being dance. Okay, so magic, wonder, divine type of a sense of that. So kind of close tied with the Chinese culture, and there's a company name, also performing art company in upstate New York. It's an American company. So because they step up, and start the touring since 2007. So we kind of say, wow, this help us to kind of form a bridge with the between the East and West. So kind of, helping out and to start doing the presentation at the Rotary clubs. Okay, so I start with my presentation with the 3 questions. I think that this will tie with my presentation, and at the end, you can ask the question. You can think about the question again at the end. So how many Rotary clubs in Taiwan? Anyone want to guess?
50.
50. More?
75.
35. Okay. All right. I will give the answer. This is a search. When I did presentation, I said maybe look it up, and I'm curious myself, so I look it up from our Rotary Clubs International, the website. I search, say I want to go to the meeting. How many can I go? I search Taiwan. It's a small island where I was born. 500.
Wow. Wow.
And the Taipei is the capital, and October 9th, 1948. Can I ask you a question? When is your club established?
1970.
Oh, good. And how many Rotary clubs in Hong Kong and Macau? You know that.
200.
200. Okay. Any more answers? 60.
Oh.
It's smaller than the Taiwan. Is UK system. I think the also. And how many Rotary clubs in China?
I don't guess anything.
Yeah. I look it up. Actually, they are. Big China, 13 of them. But when you go into that, those are for the foreigners, non-Chinese club. So, really is a 0. So, yeah, and
Question on Taiwan.
Yeah.
With, I guess, close to 500, is it all really pure business clubs, or
that I don't know.
Clubs?
That I don't know. But you often see they organize the event like here. Yes, that's for sure. Yeah, and okay. So let me start it, and you will kind of connect it, and it's easier for me to speak, more language that you understand, because if we talk about ancient time, very different, and even from a dynasty to dynasty, very different. This book, the Book of a Change. Sometimes you go to the Barnes and Noble, you look it up. I Ching is the same book. This book, very famous, is a Tao, or sometimes they call it the Tao, Taoism. Okay, so the very ancient time, even 5,000 years ago, we have a script that's so old. This is about 3,000 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and so they talk about that invisible, the invisible, intangible is the Tao or Tao, and the visible and the tangible is just a container. So you will see, Chinese food, martial art, medicine, Chinese medicine, acupuncture, all that you may be familiar with, Chinese music, Chinese dance. We get to that and kind of want to get into the essence of a Chinese culture. So that way that, you will see what actually kind of influenced the Chinese living or the culture in a broad sense. So what you can see, philosophy, Taoism I talk about, very, very old. Return to the true self, as emphasized. If we look at the four-way test, what's the first one? It's the truth. I think that maybe there's a connection, I don't know. But the Buddhism that imported from India or Nepal, some people say, yeah, and the discipline, meditation, wisdom. Actually, yoga is from India too. So if you're not familiar with, yeah. Tai Chi is from Tao. If you're interested, the Tai Chi, they're actually from balance of yin and yang. Yeah, that's from Tao. So Confucianism, that is you can see the time. They are about the same time. Okay, and then you can compare with the Western culture that Jesus was born about the same time. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, there must be something related. Compassion, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and integrity. So that's kind of tradition. Let me give you an example, and a story would tell you more. It's called the four no official. No is not a yes and no. This is the governor. He was a teacher. This was his student. He came visit him and during the late at night, and he brought, those are not fortune cookies. Those are the gold, and then try to say, as teacher, can you give me a good job, and take this gold, a lot of money apparently, take it. No one will know. Okay, and his teacher think about, why you say no one will know? That's the four no came from. Heaven no, earth no, you know, I know. There's four no. Yeah. So it's you can see that intangible, invisible, is a part of their living, too, in the ancient time. Okay, so that's kind of guiding, and all the moral, high uplifting, moral, keep this culture maintained for 5,000 years. So you think about what's the history in the U.S. So very short amount of time, and you want to maintain that, social stability and all that, that's the governing, that stability. Yeah, kind of showing that. Okay, now you probably all know. I don't know how many, know about the Cultural Revolution. Between the 1966 to 1976, about 10 years. Yeah, just social turmoil, a lot of destruction. Red Guards, I don't know you heard about Red Guards, turn against their families, their parents, their teachers. Yeah, and drag them to the public and then, insult them and, and those, and just want to break the, follow the communism. That's the kind of dark side. So what can we, and try to get out of this, cultural turmoil. And so many people, many Chinese people, Chinese Americans especially, because we live in this, more freedom country. And what can we do? You cannot, just say, well, we want a freedom, and you give us a freedom in China. So a group of artists, I thought about brilliant idea. Why not use the performing arts and show the real, authentic Chinese culture, using the story and dance and many aspects you will see. That's why this company was formed based in New York, and it's non-for-profit 2006. Ever since then, every year they perform around the world. It's a world-class performance. They have a school in upstate New York, Middletown, not the Middletown in New York, Connecticut, and Middletown in New York. Yeah, so it's really, there are 5 elements that I will show you quickly, and we can come back if you're not clear or you have a question, we can come back to it. And classical Chinese dance, I don't know how many people heard about, say, oh, Chinese dance, you can compare with the Western ballet. Yeah, you will see some of that. Orchestra, they combine East and West. So you have a Chinese music instrument play in the European style symphony orchestra. Some musicians say, wow, that must be future. Combine the two cultures, the best of the two cultures together. So, and costume, certainly many people wondering, the costume over long history, what did they wear, and what's look like. And the anime backdrop is scenery in the background, and they use the high tech is a computer animation in order to show you some of the legends and story. Okay, so let me play the 30 seconds video so you can take a glimpse of the performing art.
Last time, something was so beautiful, it moved you to tears. So masterful, it left you in awe. So powerful, it changed how you saw the world. This season, we invite you to rediscover the power of art. Shen Yu, an all-new program for 2008.
Yeah, this was December, in the beginning of tour, and they go on to until May of this year. Every year, just like that. Yeah, and yeah, I help out the. I help out this production too. So, interesting. I go watch the show every year. Imagine that ever since 2007, now it's about 12 years, and they never repeat the show, and the story and the music, all original. And you can see how much work. Each team, each group is about 90 performers. About 35 musicians and about 50 dancers. Very, very interesting. So Chinese dance, you probably see that Chinese dance, yeah. And we show you, there are 3 elements in Chinese dance: form, technique, and the bearing. So inner self, the performers, the artists, try to tell you something and from out of their heart. So that's the most difficult, how to impact the audience, the way. So, and in order to enhance, that's the essence of a Chinese culture. In order to enhance their ability to express themselves, and they have to cultivate and elevate themselves. And then you can see, some people say, oh, those are movements just like a gymnastic. Indeed, you can see the Chinese dance and the gymnastic, almost the same. Yeah, and the history was, long time ago, only Chinese martial art. Okay, there was no, before they developed Chinese dance, only Chinese martial art. And during the celebration, emperor will invite that, hey, General Li, can you show us your, powerful Chinese, martial art? And then start bringing the sword and then doing, very powerful. Because long history, long peaceful time, and then become soften and become part of a Chinese dance. So you can see those movements actually came from Chinese martial art. Even the gymnastic also came from Chinese martial art. All connected. So it's quite diversified in China too. Yeah. These are the very famous ball dance. You can see the 3 balls, they put on the top. It's a balance. It's a real. They call it hospitality dance because the Mongolian, they move around area to find the grass and the water for themselves and for animals and for themselves. So they don't often have a guest to come to visit them. So once they have a guest to come, they're so happy, they want to celebrate and they want to invite people, guests to eat more and drink more. That's the, dance that they develop. Sort of like, you look at the UK, there's a princess, how they train themselves, put the books on top of the head. Similar. Okay, and the music, so like I mentioned that, symphony orchestra that combined the traditional music instrument. This is about 4,000 years old music instrument. It's been passed down for 4,000 years. And that's also very ancient, called the pipa. Those are plug-in and 4-string. And those are just, people call the Chinese violin. And you know how many strings? Okay. Yes. It's very, so close to the human voice. So many musicians in the West amazed, how can you make a music from out of only 2 strings? Very interesting, yeah. And the difference is the this ball that has to pass through the 2 string. You cannot take it out, just like a violin, you can take it out. Yeah, that's the differences. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Talk about the costume. Okay. Researchers, they spend 100 hours to in order to handmade those costumes. Some of them from pictures, some of the not available, so they have to make themselves. There's more than 400 sets in one show, so you can see so many different dynasty, and the this is the long high heel, and you can see the differences. Yeah, there's a Qin dynasty and digital backdrop, and then you can see the digital backdrop, and it's animated in order to show the story. And the story and legend, that's how they come up with, telling. So like, European, the Cinderella story, it actually happened in China 1,000 years ago. So similar story, kind of, yeah. So 50 ethnic groups, about 20 dynasty, 5,000 years history. So this is a Mulan story. I don't know, Disney made a movie from it. Yeah, your children, your grandchildren probably like it. So it's a living window. So I, kind of took this opportunity and while they're doing the tour and try to let more people know. So this is the Palace Theater in Waterbury that will have a show already in December. And April, they will go to Purchase College, SUNY, close to White Plains, yeah. And the other one is May 5th and 6th in Poland, Maine. They will go to. So we show you. I end my presentation with the some interview from the audience. Yeah.
I've traveled all over the world to 50 countries now. I have never seen a production any better than this, anywhere.
5-star. I'm blown away. It's blown away my expectations.
It was just a superior performance that truly could bridge the world through music and dance.
Startling and breathtaking. We haven't had quite an experience like that in all the years that I've lived here, so it was special for us.
I think that I learned more in this performance than I actually do in the whole week of school.
The beautiful costumes and people just flow the choreography is incredible. The storyline, beautiful, beautiful.
We've been to almost every show in Las Vegas, and I think this is so unique.
And this is definitely one of our favorites so far.
Very uplifting, very relaxing. My blood pressure went down during the show. It was very soothing. I came here tonight, I felt very dejected about the human race, about everything going on in this world. And during the performance, I just felt now there is hope for each of us individually, as well as for all of us collectively.
Shenyun was more breathtaking, more heart-wrenchingly beautiful, more amazing than I had expected. It's very difficult to put into words, actually. You just have to come see it.
Okay, this is actually interview after 2007. So you think about the my questions in the beginning. You know, think about that. You know, if China, just like Taiwan, and will not be only 500 Rotary clubs in China, it's probably, I don't know, thousands, probably thousands, if we, you know, have a freedom like, you know, Taiwan. So. Okay, this concludes my presentation. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Questions, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm really surprised that there's not any in China. Because,
Not any.
You know, in the last 20 years,
Yeah.
they've developed along the eastern coast
Yeah.
in the special economic zones. That's
Right.
all business.
Right.
And so why would the
They're afraid.
Chinese government...
They're afraid they find the, you know, over the, you know, 60-some years, they destroy their culture so badly. So they don't want this U.S. company to go to China. Yeah. Yes.
Did you say the backgrounds were all animated?
Animated.
Really? Because
Yes.
it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I saw the water behind one of them, and it looked like it was...
So, yeah, like real, like nature. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, a lot of work. There's a you know, high tech, you know, build, you know, 3D in the computer, you know, animation, just like a, you know, movie. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah. Any more questions?
Have they performed in Jacob Pillows in the Berkshire or at UMass? Has this as
Massachusetts, Boston, Providence, and then the Maine, Portland, and they perform not every year at Worcester. You know, Hanover Theater. Yeah, that's only, but not on this side. Yeah, maybe more. You know, it all depends on if there are enough volunteers to invite them to come. So, yeah, this year, just the Texas state, the 50 shows. All, you know, they plan not so many. They add more shows, and they add more shows is still sold out. Yeah, very interesting. Then more and more people find out that, you know, and let me tell you, you know, many audience and saying that, wow, look at those color, you know, kind of touch them because the, you know, the color that, you know, kind of resonate, you know, with their own culture. I don't know what ethnic group, you know, they were from, but, you know, there's a connection. So over the 1,000 years, many things happen in China. Yeah.
And you said in the local performances, there seem to be a lot of people performing. How many people are actually performing in each?
80 to 90 people.
Wow.
Yes. And then with a live orchestra. Yeah. Now they have 5 groups go around the world. And one, you know, in South America, 2 in the North America, 1 in Asia, 1 in Europe. But now the 6th group, you know, they are ready. Next year they have a 6 or maybe 7 group. You know, even 10 groups, if they can go back to China, it's still not enough. So many people, you know, in China, they were not enough that to perform for them. Yeah.
The ones that perform here, are they residents of the
Yes,
United States?
they're Chinese American, either, you know, first generation, second, even third generation of a Chinese American. They love the Chinese culture, and they, you know, the young, start very young, send it to the art school in Middletown, you know, that area. They have several campus. They have one in, you know, San Francisco, because a lot of Chinese American over there. Yeah, and I don't know they have one in Los Angeles yet, but yeah, that's something. Yeah, many artists actually came from all over the world. Okay, and some from Taiwan, some from China, and some from all the European country, but majority were born here in U.S. Yes.
Those who come from China, how does the Chinese government?
Oh yeah, remember that the very good question. Remember that the movie, the last was that the ballet dancer defected in U.S. and they tried to grab him back to, that's very early the President Bush, that was the old Bush, not the young one, yeah, and help him to stay. Same thing now, right now is they have a trouble too, but not as severe as back then. Yeah, they would not have them, come back to China, even for the visit. They would, on their blacklist already. So if they decided to come, they prepare. They cannot go back unless the,
It's real dedication to the
dedication. Yes, yes. Yeah, I don't remember. Do you remember that the Mao Last Dancer? Or, yeah, and if you have not seen the movie, you probably know. Any more questions?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hold on 1 minute, please.
Oh.
And as you all know, we donate a book to the East Long Meadow Public Library Children's Section, and Dr. Lynn has chosen The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate DiCamillo. This is your certificate on it,
Okay.
and
Oh.
that's for you.
Oh, thank you.
And at the end of our year, what we do is we submit the whole list to the library,
Yeah.
and your name will be on the book.
Wonderful.
in the
Thank you very
library.
much. Thank you
bet.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.